Cubs fans, I think you've probably seen it on Twitter. You probably even thought this as you watched this series with the Dodgers, but it felt like the Cubs beat themselves, not the other way around, the Dodgers beating the Cubs. When we talk about the Cubs beating themselves, I want to actually quantify this for you. So what I did is during today's game, during today's watch along, we actually were taking notes. I have my notepad right here of how many mistakes the Cubs made and how many mistakes the Dodgers made. And then I went one step further and I looked at game one and I went back and looked play by play, nearly pitch by pitch. And what do I quantify as a mistake? A mistake is a leadoff walk. It's a 2-out walk. It's a walk to the number 9 hitter. It's being ahead 0-2 and then giving up a crucial hit. It's hanging a 0-2 pitch that goes for a hit. It's mental errors. It's physical errors. Those are the things. So, when we talk about giving up a home run to Shohei Ohtani, that's not a mistake per se that I'm quantifying. I'm quantifying the things that are pretty much at a day-to-day basis, controllable mistakes that teams should not make if they're serious about winning ball games against the best team in probably, I don't know, since the 1998 to 2001 Yankees. That's how good the Dodgers are right now. And as I go through these, I would like to know, is this something that's valuable for you if I continue to track this, if our team continues to track this and show this to you maybe after each game, even if it's just a simple tweet about these things? I would really like to know. So let me know by the end of this. In game one, the Cubs made a whopping 7 mistakes. Believe it or not, it got worse in game two. The Dodgers, guess how many they made? 1. And it was to the very first batter of the game. They did not make another mistake after that. Now, if you think of anything else that I did not quantify here, I went through, like I said, I almost went pitch by pitch here on game day and looking at the replays of the game on game day. And all I got for the Dodgers in game one was a leadoff walk to Ian Happ. And that was it. Cubs, leadoff walk to Will Smith in the second inning. Leadoff walk to Teoscar Hernandez in the fourth inning. That's number 2. Walk to Andy Pages in front of Shohei Ohtani in the fifth inning. Then a birdie error, which we don't have to relive that, in the fifth inning, which was likely the biggest deciding play of the game. That's number 4. Number 5 was the Matt Shaw error. Didn't end up doing anything for the scoreboard, but it's still an error. Then in the sixth inning, Ben Brown did it again. He walked Andy Pages to get to Shohei Ohtani. That's number 6. And then the 7th mistake was a 2-out walk to Will Smith by Ben Brown in the 7th. Also did not end up coming back to hurt them, but it still is a mistake. You can't have those things happen. In game 2, the Dodgers had 5 mistakes. The Cubs had 10 mistakes. Double-digit mistakes was the difference in the second game in Japan. You can go ahead and do the math here too. Some of these lead to multiple runs, and you could argue that the Cubs should have won this game even with just 3 runs on the board. But one of the mistakes has to do with getting more runs as well. Here are the Dodgers' mistakes. Number 1, Michael Busch, leadoff walk in the second. Number 2, back-to-back walks back-to-back walks in the third. And then number 3, when that third walk happened, I'm calling that the second mistake by the Dodgers because that was walking in a run. Now, you might ask yourself, why aren't you counting all walks as mistakes? Well, because all of those came with 1 out. So we're only counting 2-out walks and leadoff walks because those are that's like getting thrown out at third base with 1 out or 2 outs or nobody out. It's just a no-no. You don't do it. All right, so that was the second and the third mistakes. The fourth mistake was a 2-out walk to Carson Kelly by Luis Garcia, which did come back to haunt the Dodgers. The Cubs did score that run. And then in the fifth inning, a 2-out walk to the fifth mistake, a ninth inning 2-out walk to Justin Turner, which brought the tying run to the plate, by the way, for the Cubs. So that's how much this game was in reach. Even though most of the second half of the game, the Dodgers had an 80% chance to win, this game was still in reach. The Cubs and their 10 mistakes. Here you go. Leadoff walk to Will Smith in the second inning led to a run. Carson Kelly, pass ball. Will Smith scores. Max Muncy to third base. That was with nobody out. It was second and third with nobody out. Ends up being a sac fly to then score the second run. If you had second and third with nobody out, that first sac fly scores a run, and then that runner stays at second, and you might only be looking at a 1-run inning instead of a 2-run inning. To Michael Conforto in that same inning, Justin Steele hung an 0-2 slider, single up the middle. In that same second inning, now the bottom half, Michael Busch on a line drive from Pete Crow Armstrong. What's he do? He does everything that you're taught not to do. Freeze on a line drive, freeze on a line drive, freeze on a line drive. Did you say go? Yeah, that's what I said. I said go. No, ends up being a double play. Number 5, from an 0-2 count to a home run, Tommy Edman from Justin Steele. Number 6, Michael Busch takes a called third strike with the bases loaded in the third. A pivotal at bat. Now, we could sit here and say, well, he should have swung. It's easy to say when it's 99 with a dirty secondary pitch like a splitter, but you still can't do that. You can't do it with the bases loaded. That is a crucial error, a crucial mistake. 7, leadoff walk to Michael Conforto by Julian Merryweather in the 7th. Does not come back to haunt him. One of the biggest mistakes in the 7th inning, Kyle Tucker with a 3-run game. It's a 3-0 count. I don't care if he's 7 for his last 7. When you're down 3, you do not swing 3-0 to lead off an inning. And he did, and he popped it up. And you can watch the replay on the watch along. I was, as soon as he swung, furious. That is a baseball sin. That is not an unspoken rule. That's just every single person in that stadium who knows anything about baseball knows that was a dumb move. Next, number 9, Ryan Presley walks the bases loaded in the 9th, somehow miraculously gets out of it. And then number 10, this was one that you might not agree it's a mistake. I believe it's a mistake. Ian Happ swings at the very first pitch in the 9th inning, pops out in a 3-run game with Alex Vesia on the mound. Ian Happ is great at working counts. That is the time when you want to work a count, when you want to get a guy throwing more pitches to you, the first batter of a 9th inning. And that was just one thing that growing up, playing baseball, if you're down multiple runs and you're the leadoff hitter, you're not swinging on that first pitch, especially not in the last inning. This is why the Cubs lost. They completely stabbed themselves in the side. They came out here to Japan looking like they were still in spring training. You could blame umpires. You could blame roster decisions. You could blame lineup and bullpen decisions. But at the end of the day, the guys that were on the field during those pitches, during those 9 innings, during those 27 outs, made too many mistakes. You could have replaced the Dodgers with the Oakland A's, the White Sox, the Pirates, whoever you want to, the Colorado Rockies, and the Cubs probably still only split this series at best. Because the team who makes the least amount of mistakes is the one that comes out on top. I'm actually curious. Do you find this valuable? Is this something that you would like us to track during the season? Let me know in the comments. Just say, yes, please track this, or yes, please in the comments. Just put that. Put yes, please in the comments. Let me know that you want us to track this. We will do our best to track this. And with the Setup Man team, the Setup Man crew of the people that we have now on our team, I think this is valuable to track. I think this is one of those things that when you end up looking at a game and you say, well, there was that one moment when that one thing happened and that was the reason we lost. You can say that because that's how you feel. But then if you go to the scorecard and you see, well, actually there was 10 other mistakes that happened and that didn't lead to them winning either. It puts things in perspective for me. I'd like to know if it puts it in perspective for you. Make sure you also look out for a Ben Brown video that I got coming up here in the next day. I'm going to try and identify if there's something mechanically going on with him. The velo is down right now. And is it a strength thing? Is it a mechanical thing? I'm going to go frame by frame on some of his deliveries recently, including the ones in Japan, and see if there's something up with Ben Brown or if it's just the fact that he's trying to rebuild his strength. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you so much for joining us here This is The Setup Man, and I'm going to go put my arm on ice.